today's lesson we're going to be looking at converting metric units. If in your big books you can write the heading Gwaith dosbarth, today's date and converting metric units. So there are metric conversions that you will need to learn for length, mass or weight, and then volume, or another word for this is capacity. So starting with the conversions for length, the first one you need to know is 1 centimetre is equal to 10 millimetres. So if you look at your rulers, in between each centimetre you have the little markings, the 10 little markings, these are your millimetres. So to get from centimetres to millimetres, we times by 10, and to go from millimetres back to centimetres, we need to divide by 10. 1 metre, you may have seen a metre ruler stick, is made up of 100 centimetres. So 1 metre is equal to 100 centimetres. To get from metres to centimetres, we times by 100, and if we want to go from centimetres back to metres, we divide by 100. And then finally, 1 kilometre is the same as 1,000 metres. So to get from kilometres to metres, we times by 1,000, and if our answer is in metres and we need to get converted to kilometres, we divide by 1,000. So if we look at these examples, convert the following. Number 1, 43 millimetres into centimetres. So 43 millimetres equals, well, we know to get from millimetres to centimetres we're going to divide by 10. When we divide by 10, remember each digit moves one place to the right, so the 3 is going to go from our units to our tenths, and then the 4 is going from our tens to our units. So we end up with 4.3 centimetres, alright? Okay, so 43 millimetres is equal to 4.3 centimetres. Number 2 then, 726 centimetres into metres. So 726 centimetres. Well, to get our answer to metres, this time we're dividing by 100. When we divide by 100, we move each digit 2 places to the right. So the 7 is going to go from our hundreds to our tens to our units. So we're going to end up with 7.26 metres. Okay, so 726 centimetres is the same as 7.26 metres. Next one then, 5.4 kilometres into metres. Well, we know for kilometres to metres we're using this conversion here. 1 kilometre is 1,000 metres, so we need to times by 1,000. So when we times by 1,000, each digit moves 3 places to the left. So 5 is going to go from our units to our tens, to our hundreds, to our thousands, and the 4 is going to follow to our units, to our tens, to our hundreds. So we end up with 5,400 metres. Okay, next one then, 0.32 kilometres into centimetres. So with this one, you're not going to go straight from kilometres to centimetres. We're going to need to use 2 conversions here. So we start with 0.32 kilometres. We need to convert it first of all into metres. So to get from kilometres to metres, we know we times by 1,000. So that's going to be our first step. each digit moving 3 places to the left, so it's going to end up in the 3 will end up in our units, then our tens, then our hundreds, and the 2 will follow. So we end up with 320 metres. But our question asks us to convert it into centimetres. Well, to get from metres to centimetres, we need to times by 100. When we times by 100, each digit moves 2 places to the left, or in this case, it may look like we've added 2 zeros. But the reason being is because each digit has moved 2 places to the left. So we can see that 0.32 kilometres is equal to 32,000 centimetres. So as I mentioned earlier, you may need to use 2 conversions to get to your final answer. Next one's then, moving on to conversions for volume or capacity. So 1 litre is the same as 1,000 millilitres. So to get from litres to millilitres, we times by 1,000. To get from millilitres back to litres, we divide by 1,000. And then this is another one you need to know. 1 litre is also the same as 1,000 centimetres cubed. So 12 litres. To convert that to millilitres, we're going to times by 1,000. 12 times 1,000 equals 12,000 millilitres. Number 2, this time we've been given our answer in millilitres and we need to convert it to litres. So 8,534 millilitres. We're going the other way this time, so to get from millilitres to litres, we divide by 1,000. When we divide by 1,000, each digit moves 3 places to the to the right, so the 8 is going to move once, twice, 3 times, so it's going to end up in our units. We end up with 8.534 litres. Okay, and then finally, our third example, 7.53 litres into centimetres cubed. So 7.35 litres, and this is into centimetres cubed. Well, to get from litres to centimetres cubed, we need to times by 1,000. Each digit moves 3 places to the left, so the 7 is going to end up in our tens, then our hundreds, then our thousands, and the other digits will follow, and we need to add in a 0. So 7.35 litres is the same as 7,350 centimetres cubed. And then finally, conversions from mass to learn. Okay, so mass or weight. 1 kilogram is the same as 1,000 grams. So to get from kilograms to grams, we times by 1,000. To get from grams back to kilograms, we divide by 1,000. We also need to know this one here. 1 ton is the same as 1,000 kilograms. So to get from ton to kilograms, we times by 1,000, or if our answer is in kilograms and we need to get it converted into tons, we divide by 1,000. Another fact for you is 1 gram is the same as 1,000 milligrams. Okay, so 4,600 grams, converting it to kilograms, so we need to divide by 1,000. Each digit moving 3 places to the right, so we end up with 4.6 kilograms. Number 2 then, 7.23 kilograms. And this time we're converting it into grams. So to go from kilograms to grams, we need to times by 1,000. So 7.23 times by 1,000, we're going to end up with 7,230 grams. Final one then, 9.5 tons into kilograms. So 9.5 tons equals, so to get it to kilograms, we need to times by 1,000. So if we times it by 1,000, the 9 is going to go from our units to our tens, to our hundreds, to our thousands, and the 5 is going to follow. So it means we have 9,500 kilograms. And if they ask you to convert this into grams, well then we'd need to times our answer by 1,000 again, using both conversions. Okay, so you need to make a note of these and you need to remember them. They will not be given to you in your exam. Okay, so you need to learn all of these conversions off by heart.